Hi there, boys and girls. Today's story is about a little girl that is going to have her tonsils removed, right? So, if everybody look at the picture, you'll see that she's already there in hospital, sitting all alone in her bed, waiting to go into theater, right? So, the title is Raeeqah has her tonsils removed, and the author, we remember the author is the person that wrote the book. So the author is Madania Ishmael. Right. After many doctor visits, the day has finally arrived. Raeeqah to have her tonsils removed. Mommy, Raeeqah says in a soft voice. Mommy looks at Raeeqah and sees that a little girl is scared. Don't worry, says Mommy. Everything is going to be okay. It's time to be taken into the theater. And in no time Raeeqah is fast asleep because of the anesthetic. Mommy is relieved that she could go into the operating theatre with a little girl until she fell fast asleep. Right? So you'll see there, Raeeqah is fast asleep. Right? The operation was a success, and Raeeqah is wheeled out of theatre into the recovery ward. Mommy waits anxiously for Raeeqah to wake up from the operation. The doctor says that there is nothing to worry about. She will wake up as soon as the anesthetic wears off. So you can see Mommy already has Raeeqah's bottle waiting for her when she wakes up. When Raeeqah awakes, Mommy is very happy. Raeeqah is hungry. Mommy goes to find out by the nurse if she can eat. And the nurse says with a smile, "That's a good sign if she's hungry." The nurse goes to fetch some food for Raeeqah. Raeeqah enjoys a meal and has a good night's rest. The next morning, doctor comes to examine Raeeqah and he is happy with the progress. Doctor tells Mommy that they are good to go home. Yippee! Raeeqah says excited. We are going home! Right? And you can see there in the story, there is a spelling error. Okay? And at the end of the story, you must remember where the spelling error was, right? So that's the first spelling error. We must look if there's more, right? So we can see here, Raeeqah is all dressed up, sitting, and probably listening to Mommy and the doctor speaking, right? Doctor brings the tonsils and gives it to Mommy. He says, Mommy can show it to Raeeqah. Raeeqah has no interest in taking their tonsils with her home. She says, Mommy, we need to leave that here. That's why I came to the hospital to remove it, because it made my throat sore. Mommy and Raeeqah thank the doctor and nurses for taking such good care of her. As they leave the hospital, Raeeqah takes one last ride on a wooden horse in the ward. She looks up and Mommy and says, right? So there we have another error, right? It's supposed to be she looks up at Mommy and says, Mommy, you're right. Everything was okay. The end. Right. So now we're going to go to some questions, right? We're going to go to some questions about the story, right? And remember those two mistakes that were in the story, right? The spelling errors that were there, right? You need to remember that. Right, so question 1 says, name the characters in the story. So the characters are the people that are spoken about most in the story, right? Question 2 says, Why do you think Raeeqah is having her tonsils removed? Question 3. What do you think would have happened if the little girl had to spend the night alone in hospital? I know I wouldn't like to spend the night alone in hospital. If I'm a little girl, I would want my mommy with me. Number 4 says, what did the girl want when she woke up after the operation? Right, the last question says, did you have your tonsils removed or any other experience where you had to stay in hospital? Right, so you will go back to your table and you will take out your creative writing book and then you will write these sentences that I will project on the board. You will copy these questions into your creative writing book, right? And remember, we're coming back to those 2 words that was incorrect. And then when you're done, you will also draw your favorite picture in the story. Right. So I hope you enjoyed the story. And homework is a book review on the story. You can all tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe to your seat.